everyone. Just random live. I'm coming on. I wanted to have a casual chat with you guys this Saturday. So give me a second. I'm going to make sure I share this out so that I'm live both on Instagram and on Facebook. So I want to make sure that everybody who wants to hop on can watch. I wasn't going to go live now. I'm actually obviously in the middle of like organizing my bedroom, and I'm still in my workout clothes from this morning. And I have a lot to do, but this just kind of came through, and I've been doing a ton of channeling. So if you're keeping up with my stuff at all and you're interested in the stuff that I'm going to be channeling end of year, beginning of year, apparently my channel is like wide open for a ton of information. So just hang tight on my page if you don't follow or subscribe to my pages. You might want to do that because there's a lot of information I'm going to be sharing in the next, I would say, 3 to 4 months that is very, very important for our evolution and our ascension process. Okay, so perfect. Right, shared. Okay, my friends. So, hi, Leanne. First of all, if this is your first time hopping on and watching one of my lives, you have no idea who I am. My name is Shakti, and I have simple tools and rituals to help busy women who are ready to heal. So that's my work. That's what I do, is I help women who are really busy, who need the self-care and need the tools and the rituals to maintain themselves in their health, whether it's spiritual, mental, or physical, but don't have a lot of time, are pressed for time and are pressed for responsibilities and have very active lives. So a big question that comes up at the beginning of every year is health. So a lot of people are really focused on either weight loss or general fitness or making dietary changes because they went to the doctor and the doctor said, you have XYZ thing going on. And if you don't start taking care of yourself, you're going to end up suffering. I've had a lot of very young people in this past year come to me in their 20s with crazy diagnoses, saying, you know, if I don't do something right away, I am subject to having a heart attack. And they're like 22 years old. This is wild. I have not, in the almost 4 years that I have been an online fitness coach and help people with their health, I have not seen this many 20-year-olds come forward and say, I have something that is like this degree of serious and I need help right now. So there's a reason that's happening, and the second part of the title of my video said, if you aren't considering making a plan for your personal fitness in the new year, here's why this matters. Ascension process has been live and active for a while. This isn't brand new, but what's happening right now is that everything feels very keyed up. So the body is going through and the DNA is going through a series of upgrades and changes that is making it very difficult for us to handle certain third dimensional things, certain third dimensional foods and certain toxins and certain, here's a very simple one that I'm experiencing right now. And a lot of people in my group, I have an online virtual group, which I'll talk to you guys about in a second, called the Workout Warrior Wellness Studio, is sugar. So for a long time, we've known that sugar is linked to inflammation in large quantities. You can have some sugar that's not bad for you, but in large quantities, which a lot of people consume it every single day in a lot of their products, it can be problematic. Well, for me in particular, it was problematic in the sense that I had a sugar addiction, and it also allows for me to gain weight. I'm really attracted to sweets. That was typically like my craving food. Well, recently what's been happening is if I'm having too much of it, meaning like every day I'm having, I would say maybe over 20 grams or over between like 18 to 20 grams a day in anything, in any quantity, whether it's like because I'm adding it to something or because I'm eating it in something, I will immediately start having like massive stiffness and swelling in my body. And that wasn't a symptom I used to have before. So a lot of us, as the upgrades are happening and as the ascension is escalating, are becoming hypersensitive to things that we weren't before. And that's a normal part of the process. So taking care of your body a requirement is becoming increasingly more important, because if you're not doing that, you're going to be subject to a lot of pain and you're going to be confused and you're not going to know why that's happening. Hi, Emily. I'll wave at you. Again, I'm live on both Instagram and Facebook, so if you see my vision moving, it's because I'm trying to look at both cameras at the same time. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you guys, that's why it's so important that you should be taking care of yourself, just from like a metaphysical perspective, given the transformation that's happening internally to us, is 4 questions that you should be asking yourself entering the new year if your health, your fitness, your well-being, your physical maintenance is a priority for you. If you haven't asked yourself these 4 questions, it's really important that you do, because this is going to open the gateway for you to understand what you want to get out of 2020. So, hi, Maddie. I see that you just hopped on. So, generally speaking, goals are significant for the reason that they help your mind focus on something. It's not that having a goal means for sure you're going to hit that goal. It means that you won't hit more than that goal. What it does, it simply aligns your intention with a line of focus. It keeps you in your lane, okay? So the very first question is, what do you want to accomplish in 2020 with your fitness and your health? Like, what is the actual thing you want to walk away in 2020 with? For some of you, it's going to be, I want to finally lose the 50 pounds I've been trying to lose for years and keep it off. For some of you, it's going to be, I want visible abs because I've never had that in my life. For some of you, it's going to be, I want to commit to a program and finish it because I commit and then I quit and I can't seem to stay on the ball. For some of you, it's going to be, I want to turn into a plant-based diet because I've been thinking about doing that for years and I've never been able to really get that going. Whatever that is, you've got to know what you want to get out of your 2020. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what do I want to see out of 2020 when it comes to my well-being? Like, what is the game plan? What is the thing that if I finished December 28th, what is today? The 28th of 2020, when I'm reflecting on my year, if I have done this thing and I made this thing a reality, that would mean success for me. So what is that for you? What is the thing that at the end of 2020 would mean you have been successful? Maybe it's getting off a certain medication. Maybe it's that your doctor told you that if you don't lose a certain amount of weight or you don't change your diet, your cholesterol is gonna go through the roof. So maybe it's a certain, like a lab result you want to get that you've not been able to achieve. Okay, figure out what that thing is so that you know what your target is. And this is like a bonus thing I'm going to throw in here. Get a little index card, okay, and write down what that is and phrase it as so. This is from Think and Grow Rich, but we're going to use it right now for your fitness goals. In a little cue card, I want you to write down, I'm so happy and grateful that I now, what? That I now have lost the 50 pounds and kept it off for an entire year in 2020. That I now am off this medication and don't need it anymore in 2020. That I now, what is the thing? Write it in a little index card and keep it on you. And what is someplace, like I keep my index card for whatever goal I'm trying to go for in my wallet, because I open my wallet all the time. And so I get to see it and it triggers in my memory this thing, right? Or you can put it on a board. We'll talk about vision boards in a second because I'm having an event for that. You can put it on a vision board, or you can keep it at your desk or somewhere where you can see the thing. And what that's going to help you do is continuously realign with what you desire to have as an outcome versus just go through your 2020 and at the end of it, you're like, what happened? I don't know. My year disappeared, right? Which happens to a lot of people. The second thing I want you to ask yourself is actually a 3-part question, and they all kind of go together, okay? So number 2 and A is, what have you done in the past for your fitness or your well-being that you loved? What was the thing that you did that you absolutely enjoyed so much? What was that, okay? B is, what did you start and never finish? Was there something that you tried to do? Like maybe it's a live boot camp that you tried, but you didn't end up going, or you copped out like 3 weeks in. Was it an online fitness programs like the one that I do that you purchased and you started, but you didn't complete? Was it a nutritional plan that you had started and then you didn't complete? What have you started that you have not completed? Write that out so you see visually where you have been inconsistent in completing something. I think this is important just for mental real estate, just to clear up in your mind where you are opening doors and not closing them so that you can better judge what you're going to do next instead of continuing to have all of this like mental real estate hanging out in the world. What are you willing to give to have what you want? That's C. Okay. In order for you to get a result, you've got to be willing to give something to get that result. So what are you willing to give to have what you want? Is it time? Because if you're planning on going to a gym, that's going to be about a 2.5 hour commute. Like you're going there, you're doing the thing, you're leaving, picking up the kids, whatever your routine is if you have kids, okay? So are you willing to give more of your time? Are you willing to invest financially in your well-being and get that under control? Are you willing to give up things that you do like Netflix binge in order to get what you want? Are you willing to learn how to substitute certain foods that you currently eat in order for you to get what you want? So you need to figure out what you're actually willing to give to have what you want, because everything is an exchange of energy. So you're not going to get what you want without trading something. And so you've got to be clear on what it is that you are willing to give to get that. So that's part 2, those 3 questions. Number 3 is, do I have a plan? So maybe you know what you want to accomplish in 2020, and maybe you have the answers to A through C for number 2, but you don't actually have a plan. So what's going to happen is 2020 is going to roll around and January 1st is going to happen, and you're just going to be like, I don't have a start date. I don't have an end date. I don't have a list of things that I need. I don't have a calendar on my wall that says when to do what. I don't know when I'm supposed to work out. I don't know how to grocery shop. I don't know. If you don't have a plan, it's like you didn't do anything. It's like you didn't do step 1 to A, B through C, okay? You need to have a plan. Planning, and I teach this to my team when it comes to business, and I teach this to my clients when it comes to fitness. You need to know when you're going to fit in the things that are becoming a priority to you. So if this is becoming a priority to you, you need to know how to organize your time when you're going to be doing your workout, when you're going to be doing your grocery shopping. Do you have a list like focused on recipes that you're going to be trying or using? You know, what is the game plan? Every sports team has a game plan. Nobody gets to a game without a plan. Nobody definitely doesn't make it to a championship without a plan. Like, that doesn't exist, right? So the best teams are focused on practice and planning and vision, which is everything that I'm talking to you about except for your personal health and fitness and your wellness in general. So do you have a plan for what you want to accomplish, for that number 1 that you answered? I want end result this. Do you have a plan for that? And if not, who do you know that can help you build that plan? And number 4, do I have support? This is something I see a lot with people who decide to start like their weight loss journey or their fitness journey or whatever. They're the only person in their life doing the thing. So then they decide to do this thing, like they join one of my groups or they get one of our nutritional courses and decide they're going to change the way they eat. And then they start doing this thing at home and they start getting kickback, of course, because the other people in their life are not doing that thing. They don't know. They're not on that vibe because they are not in the same wavelength as you are, feeling the same calling to do the same thing, right? Or then you go to work and your coworkers are like making comments about what you're eating or what you're doing because they don't understand, right? And then very quickly you get this little baby idea, this baby desire that you had that you wanted to grow, and it gets squashed. Of course it gets squashed because it's so tiny and it's new and you're just starting to germinate it and you don't have support around you to keep that vision alive. Okay, so you need to make sure you have a support system in place so that when you get to that point that you're like, oh, I'm feeling discouraged or I want to quit or I don't want to do the thing, you know where to plug into. Okay, so I'm going to recap those 4. Know what you want to accomplish at the end of your 2020. Number 2 is, what have you done in the past that you've loved? What have you started that you did not complete? And what are you willing to give up in order to have what you want? Number 3 is, have a plan. And number 4 is, get support. Okay. The reason I have had any success in my weight loss journey and my fitness journey is because I had those 4 things organized. And every time that my company launches a new fitness program, I set a new goal for that program. It's not always the same goal. Like, for example, today I completed my 100 days of Morning Meltdown 100. But my goal for this program was just to finish it because I was so sick for an entire month. It took me completely out and I was unable to really fully be in the process the way I wanted it to be. So my goal was just get it done before the end of the year. And I did that. That was my goal. My goal changed halfway through the program because of something that was unprecedented. And that's okay. But I still knew what I wanted to get out of the program. Okay. So in the same way, it's very, very important that you have that clarity going into your 2020 so that you don't continue to set yourself up for failure with these habits that you are bringing from your past, right? And so looking at what you haven't completed that you wanted to complete and why you haven't completed that and taking an honest inventory of that, also super important. This is my job. This is my job, is to support people like you who finally want to get results, who finally want to lose the weight, who finally want to get off a certain medication or accomplish something like that, and do it in a way that doesn't interrupt their lifestyle. That's why everything I do is in your house. It's simple. It's very organized. The plans are given to you, the calendar is given to you, the meal plan ideas are given to you. All of that is handed to you so that all you have to do is say yes, show up, and participate virtually in our virtual boot camps and our virtual groups. So we do have a group starting January 6th. Prep week is the 6th, and we officially start the 13th for a bar program. So this is low impact, high intensity. So if you're looking to do something like that, maybe you've heard of bar or you like Pilates or yoga, things of that nature, then I invite you to consider joining our program. You can go to my website, shaktireels.com, and you can read the blog that's called Ready for Bar. In fact, I will link it in my bio, and if you're on Facebook, I'll put the link right here in the video. So you guys can read it and see like what it entails, what's included, and what it's about. And also you can see a preview of the workout so that you can get a vibe for it and see if this is something that you want to commit to in 2020. But I'm personally excited about it because of mobility. I struggle with mobility issues. My hips are incredibly tight. And I cannot even lift my leg laterally past maybe a 25-degree angle. I'm really struggling. So I'm really looking forward to bar for that from me, is to increase my mobility and get my chi flowing, especially in that sacral chakra area, more freely, because right now it feels very compressed. So for me, that's going to be a big thing that I'm working on with bar. So share with me if you're watching this. Send me in the comments if you're watching live or watching a replay. What is your goal for the end of 2020? If you accomplish this by the end of 2020 with your weight or with your fitness, you would feel so excited and so accomplished, so that I can hold that vision for you and celebrate with you. All right, my loves, have an amazing day. And if you need my support, you know where to find me.